What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and there's been a lot of teasers that have been going on while I'm doing my video showcasing all the new cosmetics to you guys. So in today's YouTube video, we're going to actually be recapping some of the stuff you should know from these recent teasers and videos and clips and everything else we've gotten. So without further ado, let's start it off with a image that we weren't even supposed to actually have. On screen right now, you can see this thing where, and I know it says Aura 0, but it's supposed to still say 0 hour. You can see this is a new key art image for the live event that has a lot of stuff going on with it. So let's go ahead and break it down, talk about some of the parts we've noticed here and there, and anything else you might need to know. Firstly, if we look in the top left, you can see K-pop Demon Hunters, and I know this image is going to get a little wacky as we go through it all, but I'm kind of doing some live editing right here, so you can see K-pop Demon Hunters right there, right next to the Megazord, and then you can also see King Kong right there as well. So just in this simple snippet, there are 3 different collaborations all just lined up one after one after one, back to back to back, and right below it is the DeLorean. That is right, the DeLorean is finally coming over to Fortnite, and that means if you own it in Rocket League, you should be getting it in Fortnite as well with the launch of this brand new season. Now, we're not for sure how quickly it'll come over to Fortnite, if it'll be like right away, right when the season starts, or if you'll have to wait like a week or 2 for it to actually drop in the season, or maybe even like a month, but it is still set to actually come with this season, and during the live event, you're actually going to be able to see that the DeLorean model in-game, because the reason it's in this key art is because it will be seeable during the event where we actually fight this dark presence monster. But of course, that's not the only thing to look at here, because we also have a giant naked Homer that's going to be in the live event. Now, I'm not going to spoil some of the stuff, but he does seem important in terms of, you know, the lore, either whether it's pre-build up or after event build up, but he will be important to the actual live event. And then up here on the top right, we can see Superman, we can see Godzilla, we can see the Star Destroyer from Star Wars, and honestly, just every collab mashup from this chapter, basically, all in one giant place. Down below, we can see the TMNT actual turtle van right there. You can see Eevee, you can see some of the normal skins we've had in the shop before, and then we have this skin right here. I think that this is actually supposed to be one of the new skins for the next season of Fortnite OG, but it is interesting to see how it's actually in this. Now, the reason I think it's for the next season is because there have been people mentioning that we're supposed to be getting like a Link's remix skin for the next Fortnite OG season, and that's what this just kind of looks like to me. Now, could it be an already released skin? Yes, we have like over 1,500 skins in the game, so feel free to correct me in the comments below if this actually does already exist as a skin in the game. Actually, we have 2,400 skins in the game. That's a lot. But this is one of the skins that is actually, you know, released, or not released, but, you know, should be coming out soon with the next Fortnite OG pass, and then it doesn't really look like there's too much else to actually mention here. Now, I do have a list of stuff that can be mentioned, you know, in terms of stuff that we've seen in the event. Apparently somewhere in here, I can't find it exactly. Oh, you know, there's Power Rangers, of course, but apparently somewhere in here, there's also the Kill Bill collaboration. I don't actually see that anywhere on the image. You know what? Maybe if I zoom out the image, we might be able to see it. Let's go ahead and just stretch the screen real quickly. Can we see the Kill Bill part of the collaboration anywhere in this image? I don't know, but we also have the video of the actual event that we can showcase and just kind of, you know, break down here. If you haven't already seen this video, then I'm shocked, because this came out a few days ago and, you know, basically everyone's seen it, but it was a really cool mini cinematic to see a lot of stuff going on with this Battle Royale event, and to see a lot of little collaborations here and there that will be involved. Now, as usual, we're going to actually be breaking down parts. Here's the Kill Bill part, for example, and talking about anything else we can actually spot, but it is just wild to see how they're basically pulling an Avengers in-game and having so many different collabs all back to back to back, all inside of one. Right here, you know, it's just a normal shot with the tentacle that we've been fighting for the past few seasons being seen. Over here, we can see Godzilla, which is just wild to see in a Fortnite live event cinematic like that. We have, you know, of course, King Kong, and then we have the Star Wars, you know, X-Wings and stuff right there, as well as the giant naked Homer, who's going to smash a donut or whatever else. We got the Kill Bill collaboration right there with kind of like the Akira slide. And then as we continue on here, you know, I think, was that just a, okay, that was just a tentacle on the ground. I was like, what was that kind of like glanced down to, but it is just a tentacle. So there's a lot of stuff that we can actually see from these little clips and everything else here. And then of course at the very end, if we go back a little bit, you can see a giant face of that dark presence. So it's going to be interesting to see how this dark presence tentacle monster thing is involved in the event and what his role actually means for the island, because, you know, the 0 point is still included. You know, that's kind of why the 0 part of hour, or I guess of 0 hour, is actually there, because we still have, you know, the 0 point as a key mechanic. I mean, you see the rift gun, for example, right there, but it is going to be interesting to see how they actually make all this play well, and how this is going to be a massive event to the point where they think about doing stress tests in game. Now, I could talk about the stress tests another time, because honestly, it feels like those stress tests didn't really test anything. They were just solo matches, right? You know, there wasn't really anything that it looked like it was getting tested, at least on our end, but of course, maybe internally in the back end, what Epic Games sees, that's where the stress test was coming from. Maybe they were taking each player that went into that playlist and counting them as 10 or 20 players or something like that, spamming request. Who really knows? But until next time, hope you champs and champions enjoyed today's YouTube video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow with another upload. So until then, peace out.